The effect of that was to strip away protections that ensured that faith-based organizations didn't have to violate their consciences in order to compete for federal contracts. My question is, does DOL plan to reinstate the implementing legal requirements for that previous rule? Will you put back in place the protections?
Senator, religious liberty, including business and contract, is of the utmost importance under the Constitution and my personal views. That will be, I think it's a serious issue that will have to be worked into.
What kind of country are we becoming when megacorporations use illegal child labor while throwing American workers out on the street? Great American people, I have something to say today that should shake every single red-blooded American to their core. The Senate just held a hearing that, if you weren't angry before, ought to light a fire in your heart. We had a rare moment of truth from Senator Ho, a man who showed real backbone, real outrage, and real loyalty to the American worker, our values, and most of all, our kids. Now take a look.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to the nominees. Thank you all for being here. Mr. Rogers, let me start with you. As you might know, on the 6th of May, I sent a letter to the Secretary, Ms. Chavez de Remer, on a topic that's extremely important to me and to my state, and that's illegal child labor. I relayed to the Secretary whistleblower information that I have received from an employee at Tyson Foods, alleging that individual employee had witnessed underage labor in a Tyson's plant. That same whistleblower also had information regarding other underage employees at other plants, and this is by no means an isolated incident. The New York Times even has done a comprehensive series of stories on underage illegal child labor in various poultry processing plants around the country, including Tyson Food. Now, I'll tell you why it's particularly irksome to me, because Tyson Food unceremonially closed 2 major plants in the state of Missouri after telling our workers and farmers they would remain open. They canceled contracts with our farmers, putting many of them into bankruptcy. They fired all of the workers, sending many of them into destitution. And what we learned instead is that Tyson is happy to hire and use illegal, hire is the wrong word. They're happy to use illegal child labor in their supply chains. So they're punishing Missourians, they're closing our plants, they're breaking our contracts, but they're hiring illegals and they're using child labor. So let me just ask you, are you familiar, broadly speaking, with these reports as it regards Tyson and other poultry processors?
Senator, I'm generally aware of the reports, but not the particulars that you mentioned.
Well, following my letter to the Secretary, the acting head of the department, the division that you are now nominated to fill, responded to me and said the following: protecting children against illegal child labor is one of the top priorities of the department and the Wage and Hour Division. Wage and Hour investigates every actionable complaint, tip, and referral about child labor violations, takes those allegations very seriously. He went on to say that the Wage and Hour Division is engaged, I'm quoting now, the Wage and Hour Division is engaged in ongoing investigations of Tyson Foods and its contractors under the FLSA. So here's my question for you. Should you be confirmed, will you continue WHD's open investigation of Tyson Food?
Well, Senator, I can't comment without knowing more of the details, but I certainly commit to continue to investigate offensive child labor wherever it may be.
Okay, good. And let me just ask you a little more specifically, what actions would you anticipate taking to ensure that illegal child labor is not possible in this country in the year 2025?
Well, Senator, there's a lot of ways in which the department can focus on continuing to do, as Secretary Chavez de Remer mentioned, to double down on enforcing against oppressive child labor. And one of those ways is to use the resources that we have and to use the data that's available to drive down where those violations are most likely, take tips such as yours, and to move forward as aggressively as possible to make sure that we can eradicate unlawful child labor in this country.
I just want to emphasize to you that this issue is of the highest importance to me. I think it is absolutely unconscionable that we have child labor being used widely by these mega corporations, and I'm particularly incensed that it has happened to the detriment of Missouri workers. I don't like being lied to, and I will tell you that the CEO of Tyson Food has lied to me, and he has lied to the people of my state. And I don't like it being lied to and then having the law broken in front of my face, flouted in front of me. As a former prosecutor, it irritates me, it rankles me, it infuriates me. And I want to see some justice here. I want to see justice for the kids who are being illegally employed. And yeah, I want some justice for the Missouri workers who were tossed out in the cold because Tyson Foods has chosen to found its supply chain on illegal labor and child labor. So I just want to underscore for you that this is the highest priority for me. And if you are confirmed, I'll look forward to working with you on it. I can promise you, you'll hear a lot about it from me.
I look forward to that, Senator.
Great. Mr. Berry, the Biden administration in 2023 rescinded the Trump administration's previous rule on religious exemptions for federal contractors and subcontractors, as I'm sure you're aware of. The effect of that was to strip away protections that ensured that faith-based organizations didn't have to violate their consciences in order to compete for federal contracts. My question is, does DOL plan to reinstate the implementing legal requirements for that previous rule? Will you put back in place the protections?
Senator, religious liberty, including in the practice of business and contracting, is of the utmost importance under the Constitution and my personal views. That will be, I think it's a serious issue that will have to be worked into the department's larger plans for federal contractors. But
will you advocate for it?
I will absolutely support robust protections for religious liberty.
Good. Well, I see my time's expired, and I never go over my time, Mr. Chairman. That's a joke. I'm sure the other nominees are just devastated I didn't get to ask you questions, so I'll have some more questions for you for the record. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks for your willingness to serve. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let me walk you through what just went down, because believe me, this ain't just politics. This is personal. That's Senator Ho calling out Tyson Foods for doing the unthinkable, shutting down plants in Missouri, abandoning American workers, and, get this, relying on illegal child labor in their supply chain. That's right. Children, many of them illegal migrants, working in dangerous poultry plants while law-abiding Missouri families are thrown into bankruptcy. This isn't just bad business. This is a moral disgrace. Tyson Foods told Missouri farmers and workers they were safe, that they had jobs, that their contracts were secure, and then they stabbed them in the back, closed down 2 major plants, put farmers into bankruptcy, fired hardworking Americans. And for what? To exploit cheap, illegal labor? To bring in children, kids, to do jobs meant for trained adults, jobs that are risky, messy, and sometimes dangerous? That's not just unethical. It's criminal. And here's what makes my blood boil. Not only are they turning their backs on our people, they're breaking the law in the process. And they're getting away with it. So far. Ho exposed that the Wage and Hour Division is already investigating Tyson and their contractors under federal law, the FLSA. And he demanded that Mr. Rogers, Biden's nominee, commit to continuing those investigations. That's the kind of leadership we need. Senator Ho is calm, clear, and relentless. You can tell this isn't just another issue to him. This is war. A war for the soul of this nation. A war for justice. He called out Tyson's CEO directly for lying. And you know what? He's right to be furious. As a former prosecutor, he's seen what real justice looks like, and this ain't it. This is corruption. This is betrayal. But it didn't stop there. Ho also stood tall for religious liberty, something the radical Biden administration clearly has no respect for. In 2023, they gutted the Trump-era protections for religious organizations that contract with the federal government. Let me break that down. If you're a faith-based business, the Biden administration wants to force you to violate your conscience just to keep your contracts. That's not freedom. That's tyranny. Senator Ho asked a tough question to Mr. Berry. Will you fight to put those religious protections back in place? Will you stand up for Christian business owners, churches, and nonprofits who refuse to compromise their values for a government paycheck? Berry danced around it, as these bureaucrats always do, but at least gave lip service to religious liberty. We'll see if he means it. But let's not be fooled. Actions speak louder than empty Senate answers. To the people watching this, you need to pay attention. This is the left's America. Big corporations exploiting children. American workers discarded like trash. Faith-based businesses bullied out of federal contracts. This is the socialist rot creeping into our society. This is Prodigy Unfiltered. Like, share, subscribe, and stay in the fight. God bless America. United States. We've got to stand up. We've got to support patriots like Senator Ho, who are willing to speak the hard truth. Because if we don't, who will?